What's up, everybody? It's Kurt, another Crim Investments and Wellness, back at you again with another video. In today's video, we'll be talking about the what some people believe is the holy grail, which really is. I mean, that's what trading's all about. Whether you look at order blocks, trend lines, or support and resistance, supply and demands, which we'll be getting into today. Um, it's all the same thing, but we're gonna go ahead and call it supply and demand, which I go ahead and like to call it, and I'm gonna show you how it's the same thing as well. All right, so go ahead and just explain it. So supply, we'll have a supply zone up here, and then we'll have a demand zone down here. All right, put it like that. Next, let's go ahead and separate these a little bit more because I'm gonna put something in between, and then we'll just say S for supply, and then we will put D for demand. All right, put it in there, and then we'll see price come into these zones and bounce back and forth between the supply and the demand. Supply, demand. May come up a little bit. Supply, short demand, but more so bounce in between these supply and demand zones, like so. All right, and let's just say this is like a 4 hour. Then on the hourly, we'll have even more supply and demand zones in between. So we'll have another supply zone up in here. Just change the color. It's like pink for 15. And then we'll have also another mini demand zone up in there. And as you'll see, price, let's just say this is the 4 hour um, trend, and then between that we'll have like an hour trend bouncing off these mini supply and demand zones in between, just like that. All right, just like that. And we'll just create that mini range in between them, bouncing off those mini supply and demand zones. Okay, so you can find this on any time frame. All right, you can find this on the for anywhere from the 5 second tick charts all the way to the 6 month charts. It would depending on how long the pair or commodity or index or stock that you're looking at has been along or on TradingView. But you'll find these areas in the market on anything that you trade. All right, and that's why it almost is the holy grail. So if you know how to use these areas and you know how to make a strategy based off these points in the market, that is where you'll become profitable at. All right, so and but that's essentially trade. Well, anybody's strategy, anybody with a profitable strategy breaks down to having high probability supply and demand zones and know how to maneuver around market structure and knows how to create a bias off of the fractal nature of the market. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and show you real life examples of just supply and demand zones and how I use them. All right. But I personally will use them as order blocks, but I'll show you that it's the same exact thing as supply and demand zone or quarter points. People call them quarter points as well, quarter theory. But all right, so this is this is SP 500. So all right, so we'll go ahead and see we have an order block right here. All right, this green area, this bigger green area right here. This is a 1 hour order block. So what we'll do is just drag this area to the left And as you'll see, this order block that was right here, who knows if it'll work out. I ought to, this is besides the point, but I would have took this trade if it was during New York, but it was something I was looking at, but not interested at this point of the day. It's like 6:44 p.m. Eastern. So if you drag this order block across to the left, you will start to notice that this order block turns into a demand zone. So now all I'm doing is dragging it to the left. I have no idea what is even coming to the left, but as you can see, this reacts off a bigger time frame demand zone. In some places, it also acts as a supply zone. You see that? And within this 1 hour order block, I think this is a 15. Yeah, we have a 15 order block. I'll go ahead and just drag this to the left. And as you can see, it also is another demand slash supply zone. But just on a different time frame. And I can do this with any pair. All right, that's the SP 500. Let's go to EU. All right. So this is a random point in the market. All right. So we have an order block right up in here. I'm on a 15-minute chart. I have no idea what's really going on, but I do see an order block right here, and I guarantee you, if I just take this thing and put it to the left, it'll act as a demand slash supply. See that? See that? I have no idea what I'm even looking at or going to. But see that? And then let's find an order block to the upside. Let me find a good one. Nice and clean one. All right, see right here. Another order block, aka supply or demand, depending on what side the market's on. And I have no clue, but I'm just going to drag this thing to the left, and I guarantee you it's going to act as some kind of supply. But we don't want to cancel. See that? See how it's acting off points of supply? Right here. Right here. Right here. Yep. And if I kept dragging it, I guarantee you we're running into something. There we go. Look. Just dragging it. Alright. And that is essentially supply and demand. Alright, it's just areas in the market, mostly areas of whole numbers or half numbers. If I got this, I'll just probably run into some kind of whole number, half number. Yeah, right. Yeah, perfectly. So 1.3550. See, one whole number, and that's where people also get their quarter point method too. And hey, look at that. I didn't even notice it was going to line up with this order block. But look, it's lined up perfectly with that order block. And these are order blocks I'm playing off of now. I'm looking to sell somewhere in here and buy somewhere in here. But I guarantee you, if I just took this black, or this gray order block and just drag it, it will turn into some kind of supply. Look, wicked off. And I guarantee if you had kept dragging, it would go. I just don't feel like doing it. But yeah, that is essentially how supply and demand zone is. It's nothing fantastic about it. It's just pretty much points in the market where banks like to move their money, and depending on how you can look at it and how you can form a bias behind the supply and demand is where you will become profitable at. And you can just check out a lot of my other videos where I tell you how to create a bias off of using the supply and demand zones. But I appreciate y'all listening to me. Creme de la creme is